Hey guys, it's Brian from turfmechanic.com. Today I wanted to, I don't know, I wanted to address something that I just thought about today. This is kind of an impromptu video. I was looking out through the window. See, we got gray skies. Hasn't rained, but it feels like fall. I was looking out at the lawn. I was wondering if it was growing. I've been putting down some nitrogen over the past couple weeks. I think it is, because I'm starting to see little tufts of grass coming up out of the lawn. Tufts of grass that are growing faster than the others, and it made me think this is the thatch layer that's really like getting disintegrated. It's getting like eaten up by all this stuff in the lawn. All of the treatments that I've been doing on this lawn over the whole like summer and early fall season, I'm starting to see the results of it, and I want to show it to you. Over here in this area, this is the place that I've been putting down nature's biological dethatcher. And I don't know if you can tell this right now, but right there, yeah, right there and there, there's little tufts of darker green grass. There's kind of a line right through here. That area, those little areas are growing. Like that grass is growing a little bit more vigorously than everything else. And if you go back to, my first or second video where I was putting these applications down, especially in this area right here, this is where I really wanted to clean up the thatch layer. And now it's obviously in the middle, it's worse than everywhere else because it's not growing. The root structure there is just too shallow. Over here in the main part of the backyard, the children's play area, this is where I was putting in Next Dethatch product. And over here, generally, it's harder to see a big difference. There's definitely a tuft of grass growing right there, more than, everywhere else. But I feel like, I'm going to go back and look at video, but I really don't think that this tuft of grass was there back in June, July, and August. I think it's just starting to grow a little bit nicer there. Certainly over here, this is an area that I singled out as a particularly bad area of thatch, kind of in this general area. And I've even noticed that it was pretty dry most of the time too. Like I had trouble keeping that little area right by the sidewalk green. And right now, there are chunks that are just growing more than everything else. Like, look at that. It's tall, tallish compared to that right there. Right along the edge of the line, at least right here, it's doing pretty good. And if you follow this hose line, it's kind of like fluffy through the hose line as well. Now, it's still not quite fluffy there, but this is an area that I had a lot of concern with going into the summer back in June. Of course, over here by the swing set, I've seen a lot of improvement. Like, I think a ton of improvement. I've got a very fluffy chunk of grass coming up right there. This whole area right here is just nice. Kind of here in the middle, it's still a little bit patchy, but this right here is the hole. See if I can find it right there. That's the hole that I pulled back in early July when I started this whole process, and you can see the grass around it is really thriving well. I've probably been over applying the dethatch product right under the swing set here, but I feel like it's doing excellent. I'm seeing excellent results, and this is of course before I mow, so after I flatten everything out again. But you can see there's a little tufts of grass right there, right here. There's a nice little tuft, and it kind of goes along. Basically, the good grass growth pattern is expanding as the root structure of all this grass, I have to believe, is starting to penetrate deeper underneath the thatch layer into the actual soil itself. There's got to be a lot of good bacterial, microbial activity in here. Look at this. This was not here before the summer began. Usually for a cold season lawn, you see really vigorous growth out of the grass through the spring going into the summer. But here in my lawn, it was, I don't know, I would call it sluggish growth. And now that we're into the fall, the grass is looking so much healthier. And again, if you haven't followed along with this series, there will be a link to it kind of up in here in a couple seconds, and then down in the description to the playlist of my thatch removal process. Right now, this is looking amazing. It's looking so much better. Now again, this area was the dethatch product from Next Line. Now let's go over to the Lawn Star section. All right, over here, everything pretty much in the camera zone here is where I put Lawn Star's liquid dethatcher product. Now you can obviously see everything from about the slide over to the fence line is looking fluffy and green, and everything between the slide and, let's say, that stone path over there is looking sluggish, halfway alive. I don't know the best way to describe it. It's definitely not vigorous at all. However, if you go back to the earlier videos before I started this whole summer series of liquid dethatching products, that kind of brownish tint in there was everywhere. I mean everywhere. And certainly over here, this green fluffy grass was not there at all. As you go down, you'll see like little tiny tufts. Look at that right there, right in the middle of the patch of brownish struggling grass is a nice little tuft of grass that's growing well. And there's a little bit more right in there. As we move up towards the stones, it starts getting nicer, but there are little patches that are obviously growing better than everything else. Basically, the grass is starting to establish itself below the thatch layer. And that is basically what I'm getting at with this entire video. How can you tell that liquid dethatching products are working when it's such a slow, tedious process of putting this product down over and over and over every 3 weeks? You can tell from the creep of good grass as it slowly creeps its way in to the struggling section. And then inside the struggling section, you start seeing little tiny chunks of grass growing much more vigorously than everything else. It's not like I'm over fertilizing little like blobs in the lawn. It's not like I've got a dog out here. We keep the dogs in the kennels most of the time when they're here at the property. But it's not like those are little like fertilization bulbs. I believe that those are signs of root structure improvement in the grass that's in that zone. That means that the roots from that grass are not getting trapped inside the thatch layer as much as they were a few months ago. They're starting to penetrate down into the grass underneath, and the microbial activity, the decomposition of that thatch layer has to be happening. Now, I'm not going to go and plug or, I'm not going to go with my core thing. What is that thing called where I pull plugs out? I'm not going to go use that and pull out like 38 cores to check them all and measure. I think that's overkill and completely unnecessary when you can literally see the results with your naked eye over the top. If you have thatch in your lawn, the temptation is there just to go pick up a Sunjoe or a Greenworks dethatcher and go over it mechanically, or go down to your local tool rental and get something like really monster. I've had a bunch of comments, I've had a good number of comments on all of my dethatching videos from miscellaneous people. I love you guys for watching. Thank you for watching and commenting. But lots of people have been saying, just go get a dethatcher or just kill it all and start over or whatever. These products are so affordable. Sorry about the wind. Look at the gray skies here, These products are so affordable compared to large equipment and they work so much better over the course of a season or two than a mechanical dethatcher does. They just do. This process is lengthy. I get that. I've been at it since the first or early part of July. And I'm going to probably be doing this all the way into the spring and summer of next year also. But man, when it comes to just like throwing a little bit of liquid into a sprayer and spraying your lawn down once a month, that is easy. Like, it takes you like less than 10 minutes to do the whole thing. I make these videos. It takes me forever to do this because I'm mixing 3 different products and doing it on 3 different parts of the lawn and trying to record stuff and edit video and post it. But just like, if I didn't run this channel and I was like I was tending to this lawn, trying to remove this stuff with liquids only, it would be a non-issue. Like, it would be a forgettable part of the day. Because it takes such a small amount of time to do it. Anyway, that's my rant. You know, I'm not like, that's just my rant. That's it. I just, thoughts that I had today while I was looking out the window. Baby is napping, so I figured I'd come out and just record my thoughts. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to be cleaning up that fence line with the weed eater, and then going over this with the mower again. I'm probably going to put down another light application of Chemwise, I don't know, whatever it is, their nitrogen product, whatever it's called, nitrogen in miners. I've been doing that a lot over the past few weeks because I still got a few patches of this rust fungus in the lawn. Plus, I want to, like, you know, thoroughly nourish this stuff for the winter. Again, here where I live, it gets cold in the winter and it's fairly long. So want to give it as much as it can to come out of it strong in the spring. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll put some links of some kind down in the description below. I always appreciate it when you leave comments, ask questions. And for those of you guys who have clicked over to my website, I appreciate that more than you believe. That means the world to me. So if you see a link to turfmechanic.com, I don't put them in there randomly. I try to put them in intelligently for things that you will actually legitimately be interested in and will be helpful to you. So go ahead and click on those whenever you find the motivation to do so. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Please subscribe. They're not all just rambling rants like this. So hope to see you in the next video.